Hello, and I am Mikei the Mighty. Welcome to my video. This is something I'm trying out. It's a little bit, some other content creators have done. You can see I've got, I'm in the green screen room in the YouTube space. I hope that you guys appreciate this content. It's something where I'm getting my face out there for you guys. So this is basically me talking about the future of Guild Wars 2, what's coming out with the expansion, basically everything that's happening in the world of Guild Wars 2. So the expansion is coming out in October. It's a little bit later than I guess most of us anticipated, but it is a big change to the way Guild Wars 2 operates. We're getting a new profession, we are getting new maps, perhaps a little bit less than we expected, but I think this actual expansion will be beneficial for Guild Wars 2. Not only that, the free-to-play is actually a real big benefit. I'm sure that a lot of you have a bit mixed, sort of opinions on this. I've known a couple of my guildies have been actually a little bit disappointed that it went free-to-play until I actually explained that it's actually generally better. ArenaNet have done a very, very good job in making sure that the free-to-play players will not get much more bigger advantages, and there's no point in creating multiple accounts because there really isn't any point. You can't make gold from creating multiple free accounts. This generally is a great way to encourage a lot of new players, a lot of old MMO players that have played perhaps EVE, WoW, or other game types like that. They can come in and play and try Guild Wars free. There is no, Guild Wars 2, free. There is no actual barriers to entry. This is a great way for people to come in, try the game, actually see how it performs, and then be like, yeah, I think I'll upgrade and I'll buy the game. As a personal point of view from a content creator, I've seen a big spike in people actually watching my videos. That's shown already there's a huge amount of interest in Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 again is sort of leading the way regarding MMOs going free to play. It's very different. It didn't have a subscription model, which is much, much different to a lot of other MMOs. In fact, I think there isn't any point in having a subscription MMO based anymore, thanks to Guild Wars 2. It's one of the top rated games of all time. You look at like Angry Joe, one of the big YouTube reviewers, Guild Wars 2 got the #1 game for that year and blew all of his expectations away. It's got some of the best soundtrack in the game. Although we don't have the same composer for the new expansion, I'm hoping with the new composers coming into the game, we'll actually see a better variety of music and see what other people can come up with. So that's my opinion on the expansion of Guild Wars 2 with free to play. I think for myself, I'm going to have a lot more content creation. We're going to see, obviously we've got Living World Season 3 to come out. For next year, what are we expecting after the expansion comes out? Well, they're going to have to do a few bug fixes because that always happens. But we're also going to see, the Living World Season 3. That is going to be a big point for ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2. When will we get a new expansion after this? Because this isn't going to be the final expansion. Guild Wars 1 at its peak lasted 8 years, and it had 3 standalone campaigns and an expansion. This Guild Wars 2 is having its first expansion after 3 years. Guild Wars 1 lasted 8 years. I can see Guild Wars 2 lasting up to 15 years, just generally with the amount of content it can create. We've not even touched Cantha, Ilona, and we have all these dragons to defeat. We haven't had Primordus, we haven't had Jormak, and we've got even the Deep Sea Dragon, we don't even know its name. Are we going to see some of these battles take place in the future? I think yes. I think ArenaNet need to step up with their content, bring out a lot more stories, and generally I think Guild Wars 2 is in a really good place. I think with leaderboards coming in for PvP, I think with achievements as well, the way they are, I think they're doing really well on that front. We've got new skins. They seem to be fixing a lot of issues that are coming in that are currently in the game with Guild Wars 2. I think a lot of these are going to be fixed with Heart of Thorns. They're going to bring in a lot more new content. As I said, with PvP, you're getting leaderboards, you also got the new game type. Will that take place, and will that encourage a more esports type thing? A lot of people would brand Guild Wars 2 not esports. I quite like watching some of the, sort of competitive PvP play. So if you're a PvP player, PvE player, or even a World vs World player, you're getting even new Borderlands to try out because it has got a bit stale. You've got a lot to look forward to for Heart of Thorns, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on the next expansion already. They've been working on this expansion for at least 12 to 18 months, they will have the Living Story Season 3 already in store for when after the expansion launches. I would expect January to February next year we will see the first installment of the Living Story. That then brings us to a second expansion. All in all, the future for Guild Wars 2 is looking bright. I am happy to be a content creator, and I'm happy that, you know, on a personal level, Guild Wars 2 I really enjoy playing. I love playing Guild Wars 2. I think it's a really, really good game. I think ArenaNet have a fantastic product. If you go back and play Guild Wars 1, it fills you with nostalgia, but it also makes you realise how much better a game Guild Wars 2 is. So for those of you out there, I'd appreciate any feedback you have on this, any of the topics I've been talking about. If you'd like me to cover any topics in these future vlogs, please let me know. And I'm hoping this is a new way for me to create content. I'm hoping you enjoy it. I'd appreciate some feedback on this. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one.